What's popping? What's dropping? This your boy, live and direct, absolute full effect out the 832. Y'all already know how I do. I'm live and direct with my boy out the 662, and y'all already know how he do, and you already know how he come up with the clue. Hold on. Echo effect. I always do this. Hold on. Yes. Okay. But yeah, we live and direct, man. What's popping and what's dropping, brother Craig?
Man, not much, man. Like he said before with the echo, this is Craig Smith II, born and raised in the 773, relocated to 901, put up with a lot of bullshit in the 256 and have returned to the 662. And y'all know how I do. And if you really do know, and if you really do, you still get the clue. Man, we got a great action-packed show for y'all today, man, and a lot of stuff going on. We got fan questions galore. We're gonna Jimmy J also is gonna put somebody on his Jimmy Jackass wall. The young lady on ESPN about the young lady on ESPN. LeBron, as always, and as much as I don't like to talk about LeBron, we're gonna talk about him. Also, TicketTV situation, which he will talk about, so I can get caught up on it because I was all over the place and I was trying to catch up on it yesterday. So what we're gonna first talk about today. Oh, and by the way, NBA playoffs. So what we're gonna talk about, Jimmy?
Okay. I would like to also, for viewer information, the guy who got killed at the end of Boys in the Hood, who was Ferris, his name is Raymond Turner. You can actually go subscribe to him on YouTube. He actually gives financial advice on network marketing as well as other, about real estate, because he is a millionaire, by the way. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of low key now, because so many people recognize him and stuff like that. Because that was the one movie everybody recognized him in. But he has 8 movies to his credit, as well. But so I just wanted to give that viewer information, but he does give out advice in terms of financials information. And he's a real friendly guy. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't aged too much. You know what I'm saying? He still looks like he could pass for like 35 or something like that. So that's the viewer information on that particular topic. So, and he should be at the funeral of John Singleton. He's expected to be there, from what I understand.
And I also read there's a whole it's a plethora of people. Cube, Morris Chestnut, Regina King, Morris Chestnut, Regina King, Nia Long, Fish. There's rumors about Angela Bassett may be attending. So I mean, man, it's the who. It's gonna be a who's who at his funeral, though, man.
Oh yeah, man, and those are the people that's definitely expected to be there out of everybody. So it is what it is, and man, again, rest in peace to the Singleton family. I hope they can get that situation to where the family is not fighting about the money. It is documented he does have a will in the state of California. Even though the inheritance automatically go to the family in California, he made it a lot easier on his family because it could take up to 2 years in California for you to actually get the will if there's no will. But they're not going to have that big of a problem unless they run into a person that's an executive of the estate that's going to try to drain out the money, like we're seeing with the Prince situation, where they're just draining the Prince estate. You know what I'm saying? But their law is a little bit more open and shut than California's is. So rest in peace to our brother John Singleton, and hopefully they can get that thing situated, because he does have 7 kids by like 3 different women. By the way, yeah, he does have 7 kids, but he wrote it out to where it's pretty much open and shut. So the judge should rule on that pretty soon. I think his mom is in the will, and that's where the fighting is actually coming in on, is the mother is also been listed on the will. But John Singleton had his will written out for many years. I mean, this, when he started getting his poetic justice money, he kind of like written that shit out because he knew he was gonna have a whole bunch of kids. He's a South Central kid, so niggas from South Central, he a hood nigga, so he gonna get it in how he live in. But at least I can say he's according to his children, he's a real good father. So You know, I can't really knock him for having that many kids all over the place. You know, I do recommend people with that kind of money to have one wife, but hey, he's able to take care of them shit. And you know, you got money like that shit, you can do certain things. So, but hopefully,
plant, you know, as I say, hey, if you able to plant, you able to plant your seed, you able to plant your seeds, plant them carefully and take care of them.
And by the way, one of his children is supposed to become a director because I think they went to the exact same school, film school, which is USC Film School, which is one of the best out there. You could argue it's the best between Juilliard and UCLA Film School, but USC Film School is, I think, his oldest son is either the oldest or the middle. One of those kids are actually going to films. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, graduated from USC Film School, so we should expect him to do some great things. But again, rest in peace to the Singleton family. Let me clown YouTube, ScrewTube, as I should call it, because YouTube has really been coming up with some bullshit fuckery, and I think it has a lot to do with these corporations. And YouTube, YouTube, not corporation tube. Not this nigga right here tube, not bullshit tube. It's supposed to be YouTube. YouTube is supposed to be about independence. But ever since these guys got corporate backing and corporate money, there's been a lot of bullshit going on with YouTube. You know, you can't go live stream on your phone no more. That's
that pissed me off, man. You got to have a certain amount. You got to be you got to have at least 1,000 subscribers and shit like that in order to go live. That's really the biggest bunch of bull. That's the biggest bunch of bullshit, past bullshit that I've ever heard.
Yeah, and not just that, man. You know, they demonetized. One of the first fuck ups is they demonetized. People that got less than 1,000 subscribers, and I've had up to 20,000 views at one point in time, and I almost paycheck going, and then they changed the rules, and that's
fucked up.
And I have a problem with that because they make money whether you got 2 subscribers or thousands of subscribers. Believe it or not, they make money off this shit. And then, you know, fast forward right now, you know, we got the TicketTv situation. And my issue, I have a problem with that as well. You know, one thing, I don't always agree with TicketTv, but he is a good dude. You know what I'm saying? I would say that. And not just that, they should not be doing this dude the way he is, because now he's in a situation now to where not only YouTube has demonetized his page, they won't even let this dude get money off donations and links and shit like that, because he can't even put up his links no more to get paid. And TicketTv makes, outside of the money he's made in basketball, because he is a former professional basketball player. You know, he's a millionaire in net. You know, he's done well with his money and stuff like that. He makes probably 6 figures at least. And I'm not trying to count your money, TicketTv. And anybody in the chat room is welcome to correct me if I'm wrong, including TicketTv. But I'm not trying to count his money. But he does make at least 6 figures in donations as well. From what I understand, for legal purposes, you know, because the IRS will probably come. I don't want them to just come knocking on his door for any reason, but he is making is well off on donations. If he didn't have the money from the professional basketball leagues, he probably would make money, a lot of money off of YouTube money in terms of donations and stuff like that. But where I have a problem is YouTube has manipulated, you know, the black broadcaster, as well as people like TicketTV, because TicketTV, and they didn't just do TicketTV like this. They've done my fellow LDBC brethren, as well as Milwaukee, number 1 Milwaukee Bucks fans, 78 Sports. And 78 Sports, I'm glad he's on the come up, because I think he's getting paid like at least $3,000 on Patreon. So I'm happy for him on that. You know, Patreon's gonna take out, I think, 5 to 10% on that. But you know, he's still doing good. You know what I'm saying? And he's another brother that really don't need YouTube, but he does YouTube out of his time. He's a millionaire from what I understand. He's between 500 stacks, something like that. You know, I'm not trying to count his money either, but you got you know, that's making money especially from the LDBC. One of my favorite guys, World Breaker Fighting. From what I understand, he's pretty well off. I don't know if he's in the millions, but he lives in a pretty decent neighborhood up in the Dallas area. You know what I'm saying? So my issue with that is they shouldn't be doing Ticket TV like that, regardless of how much I disagree with the brother, regardless of, you know what I'm saying? Because he does give out good context, good content. YouTube should not be stopping that boy's paper. If a man doing honest living, he ain't out here selling no drugs or doing no nigga shit or bullying people. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't be doing a brother like that. That is 1,020% wrong. Now, when you up here tap dancing, shucking and jiving, like some of these YouTube guys out here, you know what I'm saying?
We ain't saying names.
They'll let you, they'll monetize your page all day. When you do the Alex Jones and the Baked Alaskas who spew out racist content, it took many years. Them dudes made hundreds of millions of dollars spewing fucking racist content all these fucking years, but you want to fuck with somebody like Ticket TV who ain't doing no tap dancing, shucking and jiving, eyes bucking like a lot of these coon ass YouTube guys. Shout out to goddamn Seconds Out. What's that dude? Radio Raccoon, who's 1,000% a coon because goddamn Deontay Wilder had to call him out. You know what I'm saying? Which, that's been played all over and over again. But when you're not doing a Radio Raccoon, all of a sudden you got YouTube is fucking with you. And that should not even happen, because Ticket TV has made an honest living. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's made an honest living, man. Regardless of how you feel about his content, regardless of how big of a troll you is, this dude has done some great things and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? He sells apparel, he sells merchandise and shit like that. He's branded himself into he's almost 100,000 subscribers and shit like that. And that's one of the people I like to strive to be. You know what I'm saying? I want to do my own path and shit like that. But you know what I'm saying? YouTube should not be doing this dude the way they're doing him. They should not be doing 78 Sports the way they're doing that particular brother. You know what I'm saying? It's right. Very fucked up of ScrewTube. That's what I'm gonna call your ScrewTube, because you've allowed the corporations to come in and dictate. This is all that's what it is, because you're allowing the corporations to come in and dictate. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with YouTube? How you operate YouTube and shit like that. And if I'm a 78 and Ticket TV and those guys, I would come together and file a class action lawsuit against ScrewTube. Hell yeah. Because that is very wrong. This is very discriminatory. You've allowed a number of racist ass people to come in and make hundreds of millions of dollars. But you dragged ass on that. You know what I'm saying? Let me cut in on something. Let me finish that. But you've allowed a lot of the racist ass people that put in their content to monetize, have hundreds of millions of dollars. Alex Jones, stupid ass, false accusation having ass motherfucker. You allowed him to make all that money and monetize hundreds of millions of dollars, man. So YouTube need to be dealt with, and I feel like Ticket TV, 78 Sports, and other members of the LDBC to file a lawsuit against them though. But take over, brother, and do your thing, brother.
Yeah, here's the thing. This is what I want to know from YouTube. Why all of a sudden y'all doing this shit now? That's the question. Why are they doing this shit now? And the only way you probably can go on live is if you record your video and post it up. I mean, and then who knows? Facebook or Instagram? Well, Facebook is on an Instagram, but Facebook even doing the shit where they'll remove your video if you have music with words in it.
I agree.
I mean, they're doing that shit. Even Instagram is, or let alone like if you playing, like if it's commercial going on background, and going on in the background. That counts as music.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what the fuck? So half the time, sometimes I don't even post lives anymore on Facebook. Like if I'm drawing up, I'm gonna post a live. But like when I play music or whatever, it'll be either be like video game music or instrumentals or something like that. So, but long as it's not any words. But I like to know from YouTube why all of a sudden y'all doing this shit now.
Yeah, because again, they're getting paid off they're getting paid by fucking corporations to do half this shit they're doing. That's one thing. And another, they just see the opportunity to manipulate black viewers, because really black people is really what making YouTube hot, to be honest with you. You know what I'm
True.
saying? Now, what a lot of those racist people like Alex Jones and Baked Alaska and those whole ass motherfuckers, what they did is they come to build their fan bases up here at YouTube, and they've been building their fan bases for many years, and then all of a sudden you finally get rid of them after number of complaints, number of reports. There were people reporting Alex Jones live, and the YouTube refused to do nothing about it, and then they finally did something about it after him and his wife, he got into a domestic dispute. It took that bullshit right there to get his ass off YouTube. But I knew something was going to go when they made him the sacrificial lamb. I knew something was going to go down at that point. But again, why now? I mean, that's my thing. Why now?
Yeah.
And why these particular channels who got hundreds of thousands and some streams, millions of people watching his shit live and direct in full effect. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because again, black people is what making YouTube hot. And now all of a sudden they're gonna be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna take your money and demonetize your page, but you're still gonna benefit from it, from all the advertisements, all the YouTube red views and shit like that. You got me fucked up. And if I had that number of people and all of a sudden they fucking did me like that, you would have a quick lawsuit against you.
Oh,
and
hell yeah.
And I would have billions. I would sue you for billions of dollars. And then here's a secret to what YouTube is doing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times these guys are have paid trolls that are sanctioned by the law enforcement as well.
Mm-hmm.
They got paid
I've been knowing about that.
You know what I'm saying? They got paid trolls. They have people trolling my page on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Because you look at your Facebook and you got this pretty little white girl or foreign woman or a porn star. You know what I'm saying? With one
sending you friend requests and shit.
Friend request with one picture and shit like that. That's
hell yeah.
Agent monitoring your page.
Yeah, I've been noticing that, and that's why I put on the Instagram story. I'm like, okay, how you gonna send me a friend request, an Instagram friend request? And you got no posts, but you got a shitload of followers. Fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I mean,
so, and I'm gonna say this, and y'all asses need to stop with that shit too. I'm telling y'all what to fucking do. I don't need you. We're grown adults. We don't need you money. If you want to monitor pages, monitor a child's page or a teenager's page. That's who you need to be monitoring. You don't monitor people like myself, TicketTV, shout out to him, Jimmy, my guy here, Jimmy J Smooth, and also shout out to my guy by the name of Morris Hardiman. His YouTube page is 1308. You don't monitor guys like us. You monitor these teenagers that's getting cyberbullied and shit like that. That's who the fuck y'all supposed to monitor. You don't monitor us, because we're not the one. Because we're not the ones that's out here. Like I said again, shout out to Morris Hardiman, 1308. His page is nothing but gaming live streams and everything else. And he has even shouted us out, meaning myself and you.
Yes, sir.
And he even made a quote. He said, if y'all haven't subscribed to their page, y'all missing out. He said, because those two speak on some real shit. And he speak and mainly said with me, he said, and with my videos I post on live, little quick hitters and stuff. Yeah, 1308, he shouted us out. You monitor teenagers that's being cyberbullied. You don't monitor me.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna go ahead and say what I got to hide. Only thing I do, hey, I get on Facebook and post random shit, all that. I ain't been on there as much lately, now with this new job I got, I ain't been on there as much lately, or whatever. I'm not going to post nothing racist, even though I did get banned for Twitter because of Kanye West, and I'm calling him for what he was, what he is, and I'm not going to delve into that situation. But hey, monitor the teenagers that's being cyber bullied. Okay, don't monitor my people like Jimmy J. Smooth, TicketTV, and other guys, and 1308 people I mentioned like that. Hell, and at times, you and really when you do something like that, YouTube is just gonna basically lose more viewers, more partnerships, and more viewers.
Mm-hmm. And
So
that's what's going to end up happening to YouTube, man. People are going to stop fucking with it because you try to put limitations on it and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to get rid of an Alex Jones, but it's another thing entirely to get rid of somebody who's making an honest living, who's doing right by people as well, man. But they'll let the eyes bucking Negroes run rapid all day. They'll let the racist people who spew racism, blatant racism, at that, run rapid, make millions of dollars before they finally shut down shop. So YouTube, ScrewTube, y'all need to cut that bullshit out. Y'all need to cut that bullshit out before you end up being in the situation to where you're gonna have to shut everything down. You know what I'm saying? And I'm watching you motherfuckers. So it is what it is. Let's go to your viewer question first. I want to go and hit your viewer question first.
All right. And this question comes from a young lady by the name of Tyra here in Memphis, Tennessee. And the subject is bread. What would you use with it? It's not when she ain't talking about the food. We know what it is. She said, hello, Jimmy. Hello, Craig. She said, I recently went back and listened to a couple of you guys' live streams, and especially one in particular about the downfalls of your alma maters as far as football and basketball goes. Here's a hypothetical. Here is a what if question to you guys. If you guys had money, if you were owner CEO of your own corporation, and if you proposed a $23 million renovation donation and let alone renovation project for the football team,
right?
How would it come about? And Craig, with you saying that you went to two alma maters, you went to Hamilton and Southside, which one of the schools would you donate your money to, and how about would you go about with your project, and why? So I'm gonna let you take your question, Jim. That question, Jimmy, because she said if we had 23 to $30 million project toward the football program, how would you go about doing it for Oak Haven?
I would just what I would do is, first of all, I would expand that school a little bit too, because in order for that particular project to work, to have a good renovating spot, you need to expand that school a little bit. I would expand the Oak Haven High School, and I would redistrict a little bit as well. Well, expand the district. I'm not going to redistrict because that's a form of gentrification. But I would expand the school district first of all, so I could get quality players. Because when you've traditionally had less than 500 kids throughout the course of your history, it's hard to get a good football program when you're less than 500 kids. It can happen, but historically, it's only a handful of 2A teams that have won a state title in the city of Memphis, and one of them was, of course, Trezvent, MUS back in 1985 when they were a 2A school. They actually won a state title, but we're talking about a private school. You had one public school and mostly private schools. You know what I'm saying, and one private school. So in MUS has a state of the art football program, football facility as well, which is why they continue to compete. But I would definitely expand the school district with Oak Haven. That's the first thing I would propose for the city council as well as the school board. I would go to the school board as that. So I would definitely make some changes as well, and like I say, put an indoor facility in case it rains or snows or whatever. And I would probably consider getting a track and field, a track facility added to the I would definitely upgrade the football field, because the football field definitely needs an upgrade, because it's
Mm-hmm.
almost at an elementary school. If you ever went to Oak Haven High School and played at that stadium or whatever, it's almost like the visitors section is almost like a fucking is almost like a uh elementary school seats. That's what the
Right.
fuck they are. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because at least
I've never went, but a mutual buddy of ours, shout out to Erica Brooks, by the way. She'll probably could tell you better, but let's just be real now. I'm gonna let you continue on what you would do. The Southside played majority of their games at Crump Stadium. So, but go ahead.
yeah, Crump Stadium, and it depends on the playoff facility. Also, they would also play at Booker T. Washington as well, depending on who has Crump Stadium. Because if Central was in the playoffs, or a team in that district was in the playoffs, they would have to play at Booker T. In that situation. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
Central made it all the way to the semifinals, and both Southside made it all the way to the semifinals. They're gonna
Right.
Central's schedule is going to supersede over is going to simply supersede over Southside, hands down. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay.
fortunately for Southside, Central don't have a lot of football history. They have more history in track and field and basketball than anything.
Basketball.
But
Yeah.
yes, sir. So,
Yeah, but
but
go
yeah,
ahead with how would you with the bread given? How would you go about changing? Okay, as
yeah,
far as
I would expand the football stadium. That's first of all. And have a track and field, a track go over it, because we need our football players to be as fast as possible and be able to compete with the schools like Melrose's and etc. I would also have an indoor football facility as well, and that would probably take expanding the entire. That would definitely take expanding the entire school, and you're going to have to make some extension to the school. You know what I'm saying? Now I do need to go back up there when I come back to Memphis and see how everything is operated, but you don't have if you look at Oak Haven's facility, even though they have their own football field, the football field needs to be expanded. You need
mm-hmm.
better seating for the visiting team, so you can feel at home. Because sometimes if you have a team coming from out of town, like let's say you're playing against a team like Union City or Milan, they're gonna have to
Right.
sit in the home section, and that could turn out to be a problem as well. So I would definitely expand the football facility, as well as have a track and field and a indoor facility. So there needs to be some expansions for sure, from what I've seen. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but let me ask you this: for the facilities, because my ideas for what will be required, and I know for both of us, I don't want I would say, like, you propose something to the Memphis City Council, I will make it known, and I'm pretty sure you make it known. Look, don't tell me how to spend my money. That's rule number one. Don't tell me how I need to spend my money, and this is my project. I make
Yeah,
it known to them. But how
yeah.
would you go about with the facility? Would you take a cue from, like I said, I've
Mhm.
always talked about how Texas A&M upgrade their facility, or let alone let's just be real, Clemson, because right now they're the hottest thing right now. Would you take a cue from Clemson's football facilities as to how you would do it with Oak Haven? What add-ons would you put in as far as facilities for Oak Haven? Would you make it just make it friendly for all, like basketball, football, and track? What all stuff would you put in there for the facilities if you would have had money to get an Oak Haven?
I would definitely have a better weight room.
Mm-hmm.
Because the weight room definitely needs some upgrade. I would definitely make it friendly to the basketball team, even though you having a basketball court, even though with basketball they don't need that much upgrades because they have two basketball courts at Oak
Right.
Haven. So that's which is why Oak Haven traditionally has competed in basketball more than if they haven't competed in anything else. So it wouldn't. I would keep the basketball thing, make slight changes, but not that much of a change. You don't really need too many changes for the basketball facility like that. So with that being said, but I would definitely introduce that facility, that newly built facility that I would build to, if they want to go in the weight room, it'd be welcome to all sports and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
uh so that's how I would do it though. But I would definitely propose that to the SES and city council. I would definitely propose that for sure to them because from what I understand, if you're going to make a donation to a particular school, that has to have approval
Mm-hmm.
from at least the school board. So yeah, but I would find a way to get it done, any way is possible, if you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah. to borrow a quote from Skip the Truth Bayless. My turn. Uh, well, it's not a known secret that I did go to Hamilton for my ninth grade year, and then I went to Southside for my sophomore and senior year. Okay, and the reason being was it was a district issue. Uh, I would donate. Now Hamilton. I mean, it has expanded through the years and stuff like that. I mean, and then as far as their, like the football program, this what I would do as far as the football program. This and here's something that they're straight in basketball because they have a rich history in basketball. Football would be my focus, and they do have a practice field. Their fucking practice field is fucking big. It's in the back, and anybody, and I'm gonna share this link on there. Anybody who went to Hamilton knows how big that field is because the band uses it as well. But I would renovate, with all that space they have back there. I would just turn that and just make that into an actual football practice field.
Uh,
Okay, straight up, not just because or whatnot. With the basketball, I would do like an upgrade for the seating. I would make the seating comfortable
exactly.
because let me tell you something, sitting on wood is no fun on your ass.
Yeah.
Because that leads to back problems. And then, a lot of people don't know when you're sitting on that wood for so long, that leads to back problems. So I would make the seating fan friendly and visitor friendly for anybody for the basketball team and stuff like that. I put cushion seats there. The seats will have cushions, so make it because people with back issues and stuff. So some of these kids won't have early back issues as they get older. Sitting on that wood is tough. But as far as the football facility, yeah, they will have. Hamilton has big enough space in the inside of that gym to have inside facilities. I'll expand that weight room, no doubt. I would expand their weight room, and also it has to be, and they will also be given key cards.
Exactly.
That's a big responsibility, but it also, with them having key cards, it also teaches them responsibility. And in fact, if they have a school ID, give them access. Hey, they'll have two ways of access. If they lose their ID, fingerprint. And if they have if they want to have a visitor in such case, hey, I want to have my guy here. My friend here, he classmate mine, he don't play in the team, lift weights. Make him sign that visitor log. Okay. But 2 points of access in the weight room be with their school ID and a key and a fingerprint. And also, like with the gymnasium, I'll put a little not so expensive video wall on both sides on both sides of the wall. That way you can see what's going on. That way people won't be having to squint. all the time. And even when you got fucking glasses on, and let me say this. If you got squint with your glasses on because you're stupid, it's something wrong with you. And if you got insurance, take advantage and get your eyes checked. Because all that squinting ain't called for. Now, that's how I'll do it with Hamilton. But mainly, I'll get a football team, give them a practice field. Practice field. That way they can share it with both, the band and all this other stuff. And also somewhere off the grid, which is also key card access, an indoor facility. Because, with it being hot, with it being summertime, when about summer is approaching, these little murderous temperatures and stuff. They can practice indoors, and then like with inclement weather, they can practice outdoors. Also, I would tell the coach, hey, you're going to hire I'm going to put money toward him for give him a working base salary as far as what his staff goes. I ain't talking about getting the science teacher to be your defense coordinator. Actually get it, I would, and I would have did this with Southside too. More on them in a minute. Mm-hmm. I would tell the coach, look, go out there and hire you some guys that know offense and defense. Stop getting somebody from within. Get up off your ass. I'm giving you this money. That don't mean I'm giving it for you to fuck off. Go out and hire you some guys that know football. Hire you a good ass offensive coordinator. I'm talking about a full freaking staff. If you're going to hire you a strength coach, so be it. And really, and when you think about it, teams like Briarcrest and all them teams up in Nashville and mainly all down in the neck of the woods in Texas, why you think they got full football staffs? So it's a must that they hire full football staff coaches. I ain't talking about getting a science teacher that be defensive coordinator and don't know a lick of shit about defense, offense. Get you some football guys.
Oh yeah,
I mean that's what I would do. So Hamilton be taken care of. Now as far as Southside goes, a lot of work.
From my understanding, to interject, Southside is not a school anymore. It's like a
but it's not. Yeah, it's now a junior high school now. But
it's a junior high school, unfortunately. Yeah.
Right. But I don't know what happened with that. But just hypothetically speaking, all that rich tradition there. And I'm gonna be honest. Shout out to my guy Sean Knowlton, by the way, who I praise on him about him being a quarterback. Because if Coach Taylor wasn't pulling the Tom Landry trying to do everything all by himself, I think, and with the skill set that Sean had back then, I think he could have been a damn good quarterback for somebody, for a mid-major school or HBCU or something, and probably would have been in the NFL, if not doing the profession he's doing now. He's one of Memphis' finest. So, I mean, yeah, I mean that would have been one way. Like with the facilities, everything would have been freaking upgraded. Everything. And yes. I make it friendly, and I would make it friendly for the track team too, and stuff like that. And it's like this, and like then here, and see, here was a difference with Hamilton's football team and Southside's football team. Yeah. Hamilton had guys that could play. Southside had a few that could play.
Yeah.
But none of them weren't about shit. Now, like my boy, shout out to him, Quasi Clark. He's a coach at Indianapolis High School. I think he's a offensive coordinator, wide receivers coach now. I believe he is, because he was the defensive coordinator at one point. He upgraded himself to offense. And like I said about old brother Sean, who's a damn good quarterback. I mean, dude had potential. But I think if he was up under a white boy offense, I'm not sounding racist, like, pass first, run later type deal. Shit, hell, what could have been? But yeah, with Southside, if they were still in high school, I would have to put a lot of work in with them as far as their programs go, mainly their football team. And I would have told Coach Taylor at the time, hey, you're going to hire you a staff, bro.
Yeah,
So go ahead.
yeah, but with Southside, they had a history of being short staff, have a small roster too. That's another problem with a lot of Memphis City schools is they have a
Mm-hmm.
small roster, and you can't hire a whole bunch of staff when you're a small roster and shit like that.
Yeah.
Because when you're playing, when you're playing a team of 30 football players, 20 plus football players, which a lot of these small schools have. I mean, it's hard to get a big staff now. Like with Whitehaven, Whitehaven, the Germantowns, the suburban schools that typically have like 100 players. You need a big staff for that. You know what I'm saying? To make sure you get the kids under control and all that other good shit. So, but with a South Side who prior to their to the ending of the high school, they typically was like 30 at best 40 football players deep. But go ahead, brother.
Yeah, but like if you got 40, I mean, just hire something to complement that 40. Like hire offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, this and that. Just hire something to complement that. But that's what I would have done. But given the area where Southside was in, that would have been taking a big risk, putting a lot of money in that shit. And then, like I said, Hamilton would have had a better chance getting some money from me and taking care of because their facilities be accessed and secured and stuff like that. But hey, Southside was still in existence back then as a high school. It's donate money to them would have been a risk and reward. So
but it doesn't hurt to upgrade the facilities. That would have been your main thing. When you have the facilities, then that would have automatically brought in kids coming in because
and plus I would have made sure the teachers got some bread too.
And I'm gonna tell you something about Southside. Southside, toward the end of their school history, they had some good quarterbacks coming in. Because one quarterback, he scored like 22 touchdowns, but they were getting blowed out by fucking everybody. You know what I'm saying? That was the issue with Southside, and the main problem is they did not have the facilities. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, the track and field team was always good, just like BTW. BTW didn't always have the best football teams in the world, but they had at least one motherfucker you got to watch out for that will burn the shit out you. I remember one time the quarterback named Jerome Buchanan, he won the state championship in 2003, my senior year, in the 300-meter hurdles, and he barely made the state in the 300 hurdles, but he ended up winning it against the kid out of Brighton, who had a fast-ass white boy. I think his name, Corey Brewer, I think his name, just like the guy from the NBA, but he was a white boy. That's the fastest white boy probably I've ever seen in my life, and he ended up beating him in the state because he beat him in the section. The Brewer beat him in the sections, and then Jerome came back and beat him in the state championship. But I remember one time, and I warned my football coach. I'm like, you need to make sure he stays in the pocket because Jerome did not have the best arm in the world because he threw more interceptions than the fucking Pentagon. But if that motherfucker ever got in the open field, you wasn't catching Jerome. And I was real cool with Jerome. Even though he was BTW, okay, even had their little rivalry with BTW, man, he was cool as hell. And so was his brother. His brother was like 10, 13 years older than him. I was real close to his brother, but we was cool with one another. And I warned my coach, I'm like, make sure that motherfucker don't get out the pocket, because if he gets out the pocket, he's going to burn everybody. And I remember the one play that won the game for BTW, because this is the first time BTW beat us in ages. It was one play in, I think Jermaine or it was either Jermaine or one of those guys had caused him to fumble the football. What ended up happening was Jerome ended up picking up his own fucking fumble, after he got up off the ground. And you had, because I think what happened was somebody tried to run it back and they dropped the football, and Jerome ended up picking his own fumble up. and taking it all the way 95 yards for a touchdown. And Jerome is so fucking fast. This is how fast Jerome was. Because, this is a state track champion. He went to the state every year in track. He was all state and as a defensive back. But the nearest person to catching this nigga was 30, 40 yards down the field. That's how fast Jerome was. I'm like, you're not going to catch him. I just told the coach and stuff like, why did this motherfucker let this guy get the fuck out the pocket? And how did that even happen? Because, he fumbled the ball. And like, it's crazy when you describe it. But, if you talk to somebody that played football with me, they would describe it the same way. And it was, the description of it is crazy. But he ended up picking up this ball and like taking it for a touchdown. His own fumble now. So, these South Memphis schools always have good track and field guys. But football is not all that. Not all that, Hamilton and Southside have the two best football histories because both of them ended up in the state championship game. One against the Oakland Patriots. Hamilton lost 21-8, and the Southside Scrappers lost to Morristown West with the late Rex Dockery, who coached Memphis State as well. But yeah, I mean, it wouldn't hurt for you to have a good football facility for Southside if they still was in existence. So it is what it is, but I think that's a good idea for Southside. And a lot of what you said with the football facilities, you said the exact same fucking thing. You said what I said and what we said could coexist with one another. Because I think we both have good points on what we need to do with the facility, like the card thing. You couldn't have said it any better. I would do the same thing. I would do everything plus some of what you said. So,
and go ahead, finish, say what you got to say, because I'm going to say this too.
And I think all SES schools, especially the ones in the Memphis section of the SES, I think they need to consider doing that. But go ahead, brother.
And also, in the facility, these motherfuckers have their own mess hall. Much like how Alabama and Clemson and Texas A&M got. A nutritionist tell them, hey, what to eat and stuff like that, so they can stay in shape, stay injury free, and all that shit. Yeah, I ain't talking about nutritionists like the old cafeteria manager with the mole on the face that look like he want to talk to you. An actual person that actually knows an actual health and wellness person. Like, hey, you ain't taking too much. You need to intake. You need to Jimmy. You need to hydrate yourself more. You need your electrolyte count low. Yeah, it's stuff like that. Yeah, because let's just be real. If these guys just and I'm gonna be honest, and it's not a knock to the guys that I went to school with. They're at Southside that played football. I really don't think they were motivated. I agree. I really think they weren't. I really think most of them were not motivated. I mean, as long as it's like whatever. And one guy even admitted he just got on the football team as something to do, and he couldn't play worth a damn. But he tried, but he couldn't play worth a damn. But I just think most of them were not motivated. They lack motivation. From what I don't know, whether it's because they just didn't want to play, or they were just doing it. I mean, if they were even trying to get, or maybe they felt like well, I ain't motivated enough. I ain't trying to get no college. Ain't no college recruiter trying to recruit me. So what's the point of me trying to put forth effort? Fuck that shit, man. Hell, we just gonna go out here. I was just playing football to do something. And that's why I said the two gentlemen that I did mention. My bag was, and it was I think I forgot who the tight end name was. He was the third guy. Okay. Those three were the only ones that was motivated to do something because they done something with themselves. Exactly. Like I said, one is with Memphis' finest. I think the running back at the tail, and he played running back and tight end also. He has his own little thing going on in his business. And like I said, my boy Quasi Clark, he's in Indiana. He's in Indiana, coaching football. of all states to coach football, Indiana. So, I mean,
but Indiana does bring out a lot of good quarterbacks too, though. They're one of the quarterback, between that Ohio, Illinois, Midwest corridor, even Pennsylvania. Those are like quarterback. Those are like a stomping ground for quarterbacks. But go ahead, brother.
Yes, I mean, those three were the only ones. Mario Johnson, that's his name. That was the other guy's name. I mean, those three appeared. Those three had the motivation. The other guys, but so anyway, is on that. I got another one before we move on because I know you want to choose somebody out. This comes from Memphis Grizz 901, and the subject is Mike Conley gone. And this was sent to me. They said, "Hello, Craig." Said, I recently saw on a tweet that you made on your Twitter account by making a suggestion about Toronto Raptors trading Kyle Lowry to the Memphis Grizzlies for Mike Conley and 2 first-round picks. I want to know, are you insane, or do you think this is a good idea? Well, I'm not insane, but anything better than Kyle Lowry. I'd rather have Mike Conley in the playoffs, because here's the difference between Mike Conley and Kyle Lowry. Mike Conley ain't fat, lazy, and complacent when it comes playoff time.
I say, as a Grizzly fan, if they're not going to do nothing within the next year or two, I think they need to trade Mike Conley, because Mike Conley does deserve to be on a team that is a playoff contender. And I don't want to see, as a fan, I would hate to see him go as a Grizzly fan, but I don't want to also barricade this dude's career and fuck up his career because I'm not willing to put forth the effort to manage my team properly, because I'm respectful enough of a player to where if my Grizzlies is doing bad, nigga, go to Golden State. If they gonna win a championship, go to them motherfuckers. If James Posey with Boston, if we're not even gonna make the playoffs, go to Boston and get your championship. That's the way I see it. As big as a Grizzly fan I am, I would rather you get a championship somewhere else than to sit up there and be barricaded in a city that's not motivated to win at all, especially with the fuck shit ownership that we got as a Grizzly fan. And let me holler at whoever the fuck this owner is. I don't give two shits about
Robert Pera.
Robert Pera. If you don't give a fuck about the people of Memphis to bring forth better basketball coaches and a better basketball team, sell that team to somebody else who's willing to do something for the city. Because it's
the only time you hear about him is after the season.
Exactly.
Because he's starting to get like Dan Gilbert.
Yeah.
He always wants to have a say on shit.
And let me get to this point. It's plenty of billionaires around the state of Tennessee as well as in Memphis. Memphis have quite a few billionaires that people don't realize they have. And there's plenty of billionaires that will buy that team and make sure that team goes all the way. So, sell that shit to Fred Smith, sell that to the Chris family, sell that to somebody who's willing to make this team better. Because he's not a Memphis person, obviously. And we love our basketball in the city of Memphis, from high school on down to professional sports. Because as you've seen, when we made it to the championship, to the playoffs, we sold the shit out. Even though we lost in the conference finals, with San Antonio making it to the finals, we still support that team, especially during playoff time. So if you're not willing to do shit with the Grizzlies, just sell the team. Please sell the team. Do us a favor as a Grizzly fan, sell the team. Because
he's more worried about his ubiquitity company more than anything. So I feel the same way. Why buy a team you don't give a damn about? And you really don't know shit about basketball. Anytime you're gonna blatantly say, "Oh, I can beat Michael Jordan in a pickup game,"
you have. It's like LeVar Ball.
And you can. Yeah, and you really can't play ball your damn self. So I mean, I'll put it like this: whoever was the last Grizzly ownership was, at least they did give a damn.
Yeah, and the crazy
At
thing
least
about
they cared.
exactly. And Michael Hosley was trying to sell that team, but as he went out, he laid a foundation before he left. That's one thing I can respect about Michael Hosley. Even though he did not want the Grizzlies after what happened in Vancouver and he was trying to sell it multiple times, he at least laid a foundation for Michael Piera, and he still didn't get the message.
Robert Piera.
Robert Piera, whatever the fuck his name is. You know, that's how much I don't give a damn about that motherfucker. But anyway, Robert Piera, if Michael Hosley gave you a lifeline with this basketball team. He gave you a lifeline. So use that lifeline or get out of minds and sell that motherfucking team. That's all I got to say to that. And Mike Conley deserves to be on a team that's contending for a championship. I want to see that kid get something. You know, as a fan, you know, I would love to see him play a lifetime for Grizzlies, but if we're not going to do nothing for him, then get trade him. Give him that respect. But go ahead, brother.
Yeah, but hell, I agree. And really, I mean, maybe Mike Conley on the Grizzlies. Mike Conley on the Raptors will be a good fit because, like I said, at least he will step up playoff time, unlike Kyle Lowry. Because right now, my bad, Jimmy. Somebody called me on the phone. Because right now, can you hear me?
I can hear you live and direct, brother.
Okay, because right now, Curry is just giving Kawhi Leonard more reasons to say, man, fuck this shit. You know, really? Because if I was a Grizzlies GM, Raptors GM, I'd pull Kyle Lowry aside and be like, look, man, you playing like shit right now, and I get tired, and I was come on out with it. I'm tired of you playing. I'm tired of seeing how you playing. It's just like you became lazy. I don't know what it is. You got lazy and complacent and uncooperative. Hey, if you gonna step it up in the playoffs, you gonna go. Simple as that. Because Kyle Lowry gonna have to dip. I mean, look at DeMar DeRozan. Because if by hook or by crook, if he go down there to San Antonio and he does that shit with Pop will have him out of there quicker than anybody.
Pop will pop his ass. You gotta get your ass up out of here.
So, but no, I'm not no Memphis Grizzlies fan. I'm not insane, but it's just a thought to put out there. I would like to see Mike, and I'm like Jimmy, I would like to see Mike Conley play on a team that's a playoff contender, or playoff contender or championship contending team. And I think he would be a good fit. Now, mind you, in that Toronto Raptor offense, he's gonna have to shoot the 3-ball. So he can't be chicken shitting when he's open for a 3-pointer. Now he has taken some, but back in the past, he used to get on my nerves not taking any open threes, man.
Well, he had a good mid-range jumper too, though. That's another factor. He was one of the hardest people to stop in terms of cutting to the basket because he gave Russell Resthaven problems on the defensive end of the basketball. So I mean, if you wanted Mike Conley to have a career game, put him against the Choklahoma City blunder against Russell Resthaven, and Russell Resthaven gonna be a Resthaven for fucking Mike Conley, because Russell Resthaven could never do nothing with Mike Conley, especially a prime Mike Conley. You know what I'm saying?
Hell no.
And the crazy thing about it, I agree with you on Mike Conley. Mike Conley was too hesitant to take threes, and the crazy thing about that motherfucker is a high percentage 3-point shooter. He just don't take them, a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? No. So that's my issue with Mike Conley. But other than that, man, Mike Conley got game, man. And
yeah, he deserves. I respect his game, but I'm always gonna respect his game. But man, he's gonna have to come with it with his outside shot though.
Yeah, he has a good mid-range. He's not a 3-point shooter, but he's a mid-range guy in a mid-range slasher. So yes, you're right. In certain situations, he's gonna have to stop hesitating to take that 3, because he has a hell of a 3-point shot. His jumper is not bad from the 3-point stripe. He just doesn't take it like some people. So that's the his major issue right there. But I think he should go ahead and they need to consider trading him to start over. I think the Grizzlies need to do him a favor and take him to send him to a better team. That's what I would do because I want to see the guy get a ring. He deserves it out of everybody. He's helped the Grizzlies in certain game situations. Especially when we went to the conference finals, his 3-point shot was on like a pot of neck bones. That's the one Grizzly team that had, they wasn't a 3-point bombing team, but in situations where they needed the 3-point shot, Conley and a couple of other guys was able to bomb that bitch on their ass when they needed it most. So, just do the brother a favor. Just do that brother a favor, man. Don't barricade him at the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah.
So
no questions, but I'm pretty sure you want to roll somebody. And but hold up, but let me introduce us all because Mike Greenberg, who is the only sane guy along with him and Mike Golick and Mike Golick Jr., MJ, are the only guy, along with Louis Riddick, are the only ones that keep it real and keep it honest. Mike Greenberg the other day kept it real honest and 100 about this new overtime rule in college football. And it's the most stupidest rule where if they have to go out thinking like to a 4th or 5th overtime, they're going to have to start from the 2 or some bullshit for a 2-point conversion or something like that. But Mike Greenberg said it is the most stupidest rule ever. And this prompts Jimmy to chew out this young lady from ESPN who said the most stupidest ass thing in response to that. Roll with it.
What the fuck is wrong with this goddamn heifer? I'm being a heifer. I'm gonna call you a heifer because the fact that you sit up there and co-sign this goddamn fuck shit, you deserve to be called everything in the goddamn book. Let the experts be the fucking experts, like Mike Greenberg. Mike Greenberg ain't the best broadcaster, but when he talks, he knows what the fuck he's talking about. Why the fuck you co-sign that fuck shit? Well, we're just trying to have good player safety and stuff like that. And bitch, shut your ass up. Shut the fuck up and let Mr. Greenberg talk. That he has every right to be disgruntled at this dumbass overtime rule, which the 2-yard line. Come on now, that's giving the offense too big of a fucking advantage. That you're really giving the offense. Go ahead.
And then she made some little stupid comment about the tie. He said, people don't want ties no more. Even the black dude, he said, people don't want that no more. They want to see the game keep going.
Exactly. In college football, but prior to this fuck shit rule that they just instituted like a bitch, that was the fairest rule in football, period. High school have similar rules to college football as well. Get the ball at the 10-yard line, unlike the 25-yard line in college football. But that was the fairest rule they could institute. But now they instituted this bullshit rule, and everybody at the college football committee need a slap upside their goddamn big ass bald spot having heads of theirs, because I'm pretty sure they're suffering from balding, and if they're not suffering from balding, they need to oops upside their head. God damn it! Because this was the dumbest rule. You could have let the players get the opportunity to have high scoring games. If you don't have that, if you're not that good of a defensive coordinator, you shouldn't get the if you're not that good of a defensive coordinator, you damn sure not going to stop them at the 2-yard line. If you can't stop them at the 25, what makes you think you can stop them at the 2-yard line? So they need to change this rule ASAP, because whoever came up with this bullshit, individual came up with this bullshit rule, needs to be dealt with. But this dumbass heifer
was smoking.
Yeah, this dumbass heifer, shut the fuck up. Let Greenberg talk. Let him have his rant. Let the other guys have his rant, because you don't know shit about football. You don't know shit about football. Let that Mike Greenberg talk. Let the experts be the experts. Shut the fuck up. That's all I'm saying to this dumbass motherfucker. You co-sign.
And what colors are hair? What colors are hair? Blonde, right?
Is it blonde? Yeah, from
Yeah.
what I understand, is blonde. I was so disgusted at the woman. I didn't pay attention to her like that. I just know it as a woman, and she need to shut the fuck up. Please shut the fuck up when it comes to this rule, because this rule is very unfair. This is very, very, very unfair to the players to have an opportunity to win. And it's cheating. It's a form of cheating, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
It's a form of cheating, in my personal opinion. But go ahead, brother.
And I'm gonna say this: at least old girl from Fox on Undisputed, Jenny Taft. At least she don't say. Now she said something stupid one time that Shannon had to correct her on. It was that Tyreek Hill situation, and Shannon had to take her to school on that. So and then, but since then, hey, I'm surprised they ain't said nothing about it. But hey, Jenny Taft is woke on a lot of shit. She would say some some shit that be going on in NFL and all this other stuff be stupid as hell. You know, she commented, she was mad as hell about no, that was Kareem Hunt, my bad, when Shannon had to get on. Now she was mad as hell about that Tyreek Hill situation because that's a child.
And
You know, and she has every right to be. She said, I don't have children myself. She said, but to have that child go through all that stuff, what he's going through, that's wrong on not only Tyreek Hill's part, but also wrong on his fiance's part.
Exactly. And
then they said he got kicked out of Oklahoma State, and Skip said that Tyreek Hill was kicked out of Oklahoma. Mike Gundy had to get that man off the team, man, because they said that little situation that happened up there. Said that was an ugly situation there. Yeah. They're talking about it was ugly. It said it was an ugly situation. Yeah. So, but yeah, she should have. And then the little joke she talking about, yeah, I can see why y'all don't like ties, is because y'all not wearing some now. And Mike Greenberg was like, really? But Greenberg had every right to say what he got to say, man. And if he don't renew his contract with ESPN or whatnot, hey, they, you know, he welcome to he welcome to go to Fox Sports, because like with Undisputed or something. Because you know, like I said, I think Fox Sports has the better shows as far as ESPN go, but can't none fuck with Around the Horn and Partner Interruption. Now them the only shows I watch on ESPN. Yeah, because Tony Kornheiser and Mike Wilbon, them are guys there, man.
Yeah, most definitely. And again, man, she need to shut her stupid ass up. I'm just disgusted that that woman would even co-sign the fuckery like that. And you know, college kids deserve a better chance at winning. You know what I'm saying? And it could come, like Mike Greenberg said, it could come down to a real big game like Alabama Auburn. Yeah. Alabama Auburn, you don't know what to expect in that game. It could that could end up 5 or 6, 7 overtimes. And you want to go for a 2-point conversion after the 5th overtime, which, you know, is highly unlikely. Most college football games would go overtime, but keep the overtime rule as it is. I mean, don't bring no fuckery with it. But let me get to this particular subject. I wanted to ask you, as an Alabama Crimson Tide fan, who's a fan of the greatest college football team by championships, 17 national championships to be exact. You could argue an 18th national championship, but they don't claim that particular 18th national championship for football historic for football historians. But could 2 Alabama players go 1-2? And let me before you have that thought, let me pull this up real fast, because I did screenshot the thing, so I want to make sure. Of course, we know Tua is projected to go number 1, but Jerry Jeudy for Alabama, wide receiver, he was his favorite target. Had 1,300 receiving yards, 14 touchdowns, 20 yards per reception. And according to ESPN, if the Cardinals steal the Fartnals, you know, I think Cliff Kingsbury would love to have this guy. That's one of the reasons why, because they're projecting the Miami Dolphins to stay as the Miami Coffins. stay in stay at the funeral home. So that's one, and they expect the Arizona Cardinals to be the Cardinals. So
This fool said the Cardinals.
The Cardinals, because they always fart up a big game. That's why I call them the Cardinals. They've been farting since the 1930s when they was in Chicago Cardinals. What is your take on the possibility of two Alabama Crimson Tide players to go possibly, and I said possibly, could go 1-2?
That's a big possibility, just like you said. But there's going to be some problems with that. You said Jerry Jeudy had over 1,300 yards, receiving yards, and 14 touchdowns, right?
Yeah, and 20 yards per catch.
Okay. How many yards per catch?
20. He averaged 20 yards per catch.
Okay. Those numbers, they're going to drop because their offensive coordinator's up there at Michigan right now. So, but yeah, it's likely they can go 1-2, but if Tua can stay healthy, not come out of every series with a broke fingernail, broke ear or whatnot, and if Jeudy can replicate the success he had last season this year, yeah, it's a possibility they can go 1-2, but the offense may take a hit, and it's being said that Saban is going to handicap it again. And I hope not. But when was the last time an Alabama team ranked in the top 10 in the nation in total yards, scoring, points scored, and everything else? Last year.
Wow. And that's only happened a handful of times from my understanding, because they, traditionally they've been mostly a read option run first team traditionally with Alabama, especially go all the way back to Wade Wallace in the 1940s, to Bear Bryant, of course, and Gene Stallings and those guys. Those guys was always run first, and that's had been the key to Alabama's success. Now with AJ McCarron, they threw the ball more with AJ McCarron. But
McCarron bitched a lot though. Man, I'm gonna be honest with Crimson Tide fans is glad that man was gone. That's why he riding time with the Raiders.
But he did win championships.
Yeah, he won championships, but it was after the fact the man was throwing shots at Nick Saban.
Yeah, which was a whole ass move on his end, because you became the all-time leading passer because Nick Saban allowed you to pass the ball more. That was the thing. And in certain situations, he shouldn't have let your dumb ass pass the ball more. Because, even though
like that Sugar Bowl game against Oklahoma, motherfucker threw 5 interceptions. What the fuck you throw 5 interceptions against a defense that wasn't even that good?
Exactly. I mean, that was just horrible. And for the record, believe it or not, Oklahoma has a winning record against Alabama. Handful of teams that have a winning record. I mean, I think Notre Dame and Penn State is the other, but those series are closer than what people realize it is, because if you look at some of the scores, the scores were closer. They could have been a swing game, but we'll get into that at another time. But I think it's a strong possibility. If a guy's catching 20 yards a catch, it's going to be hard pressed to not have him at least in the top 5. So we'll see what's popping and what's dropping with that, man. You got any more before I go to the next subject?
No.
Okay. Well, what I wanted to start off with NBA playoff talk before I get into the other subjects. What is your take with the let me give you my take, and then I'm gonna ask for your take. Now, the Milwaukee Bucks, they did do what I told them they need to do. Keep the game in double figures as much as possible, so the referees did not get involved in it, and it didn't happen. Now, they almost blew the game toward the end, but they had a big enough lead, a wide enough lead to where they won by 8, which is a good thing. And they're going to have to continue to do that. Keep a double-digit lead so that refs can't get involved, because if it gets close, 3 points, 6 points, you going to have a problem with the officiating. So the Milwaukee Bucks, it looks as though that the Milwaukee Bucks could fuck around and end this series. But again, I'm not counting Big Bad Brad out. I'm still not, up until I know for sure that they could end it, because Big Bad Brad always come up with some tricks on their sleeves. So, what is your take on the Milwaukee series? And how good does it look for Milwaukee, because you did pick the Bucks to win this series? What is your take on this?
If they can play, if they could, ain't game 4 today, right?
Mm, let me go to the ESPN website. I think it is, but let me go to the ESPN website. I should be able to pull it up within a matter of seconds. Game. I'm not trying to go to NFL, bitch. Let me go to the NBA web. The NBA. It should be today. Technology, I tell you. I think the Raptors game is today, and no, Denver, Portland, and let's go to NBA schedule. So it should be Monday. Should be Monday. Yep, correct. Monday, Houston the second game, and Boston the first game. So yeah.
Okay. It's still gonna be in Milwaukee's favor if they can play with that type of intensity. But I noticed Budenholzer, he switched his game playing up a little bit too, because he ain't doing the 5 out. I noticed that because he went to a straight shit. He did like a little like a spread him type shred him deal. He went with the old spacing concept where everybody was open, like a la Tyronn Lue, what Tyronn Lue does. So that helped them, and then they switched to a high-low offense on Boston, and Boston wasn't expecting it. So it's still gonna be in Boston's favor. You know, Giannis, he played a little bit better. I don't know what his numbers were from that game Friday night, but hopefully they're a little bit better than what they were from the previous two. Yeah. So, I mean, because like I said, it can go either way.
32. He was the game high scorer with 32. Okay. So, but my thing is, if they can keep balanced scoring, like I said, they need all 6 guys that's playing. They need 6 people to score. 6 people to score in double figures. If as long as they can keep that going, they could easily beat Boston. But if they start pussyfooting around, Big Bad Brad is going to show them why they call him Big Bad Brad. So it is what it is.
What it is.
Now, with the Portland series, and that's been to me the least interesting series because I didn't watch a goddamn second of that game. Period.
Yeah, they went 4 overtimes Friday night.
4 overtimes, so good for them. So, what is your take with the Portland series? Because I'm still questioning the series. Do you think Portland look like they can pull this off in game 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It may go 6 games either way, or it may go 7. So, it can go 7 games, man. Depending on how they play, because they shit. When McCollum or Lillard get hot, and then when Cantor, who is back to being the Enes Cantor of old, instead of being the ass kissing Russell Westhaven's ass kissing fuck boy, hey, woo, man, he get on the road. When Cantor get on the road, man, it's over.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Enes Cantor, he did the damn thing at Oklahoma. It's just, they made them unnecessary trades, and I think OKC could have possibly been a better contender than what they did. But since they did that shit, Portland is benefiting off of Enes Cantor, and hey, shout out to that brother. Shout out to Damian Lillard for his 28 points. CJ McCollum had 41. I'm looking at the stat line, so. If it sounds like I'm look like a stat robot, then that's what it is. But they went 12 of 42 from the 3-point line. But from what I've understand, those 3-pointers came in crucial situations, and that's what you need in today's NBA. You need those threes to fall in crucial situations, and Portland took advantage of it. So it is what it is. Shout out to the Portland Trailblazers, and they need to be the Trailblazers blaze the trails on the Denver Suckets, as I call them, because they've had so many badass seasons. Badass in a bad way. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it
Yeah.
is. So with this Houston Rockets series, they finally got them a game. It took overtime to do it, but a win is a win either way. And the winning margin is now 15 points. Both teams have won by an average of 5 points a game in this situation. Now, Houston nearly blew the game like they normally do against Golden State.
Yeah.
They got more gunshots than Southwest Houston, but them gunshots start missing, and the Golden State Warriors, did their thing yesterday. So are you still not giving Houston a chance? And I'm gonna say this
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say this beforehand. Houston is shooting very well at the 3-point line. The problem is they have too many misses, and a lot of times, Golden State, who was really Houston is the tethered version of the Golden State Warriors, and I've said this before. They're the tethered version of the Golden State Warriors, and if the tethers don't kill their own tethers, it's going to be a problem. You know what I'm saying? But with Houston statistically has made 49 3-pointers in this series. Yeah, they've made 49 3-pointers. They have outshot Golden State in every game in terms from the 3-point line. But Golden State has gotten a lot of offensive rebounds in the first 2 games, which has kept them in the game. And not only that, Houston needs to keep Capella in double figures.
Yeah, because I noticed now in that game, I noticed Capella. Really, Golden State beat themselves in that game because, like Kyle Lowry, they have gotten lazy on defense.
Yeah,
and everybody trying to figure out what the fuck was up with Steph Curry last night, man. Missed a dunk.
But I also got to take in consideration he's not 100% healthy either. That's a factor.
Yeah, his dislocated he dislocated his finger.
Yeah, and his jumper is not on because your finger is a factor in that jumper. So in granted, Stephen Curry tends to struggle against Houston, except in game deciding situations. Like it takes a game. If this goes into a game 7, which I'm projecting it could possibly, depending on the outcome of tomorrow night's, I think if they able to tie it up 2-2, it's going to go into a game 7 because I don't see them coming back to win Houston. Because I've really studied the Rockets very closely, but Curry against the Rockets have played well in crucial game situations, but he does tend to struggle against Houston. You know what I'm saying? Now he will get his 20 and 30 or whatever, but if you look at the number of shots he has to take against Houston, he has to take more shots against Houston than anybody else. Whereas anybody else, he can just shoot 10 threes and make all 10 threes. Whereas Houston's, I don't know what is it with their defense or whatnot, or Houston's ability to shoot the ball and he feels kind of pressured against them. He knocks them bitches down. So I think that injury is definitely playing a factor in him knocking down his threes. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I agree. Shit. Like you're saying with Steph, man, if he know he's not 100%, he shouldn't take the chance in playing because we don't want to fucking repeat of 2016 all over again. And I'm gonna be honest about Golden State. I like them, but they're going to have to stop. They're going to have to stop with the bullshit, man. With the lackadaisical defense, and just volleying up shit like it's gonna hit or whatever. Because they're gonna mess around. They keep doing that. I'm gonna say this: they're gonna mess around and lose the series straight up.
Yeah, and
they're gonna mess around. They're gonna mess around and lose the series. So they need to quit. And then most of it and all this is on fault on Steve Kerr too. He's a good coach. Like I said, ain't gonna take nothing away from him about as far as his coaching and stuff is. But let's face it, you're gonna have to. Damn. He's going to have to focus more on the defensive side.
Yeah, but when you're playing against a team like Houston that is your tether, it's a lot of pressure to make. They need to get back. They need to get back more on the offensive rebound side. They need to really bang the boards because they're really tall, bigger than Houston. Size wise.
Right.
For the Rockets gonna need to keep Capella in double figures. If he can give the Rockets 13, 14, 15, 20 points, that's going to be good. They need to be able to balance out their scoring. You know what I'm saying? Chris Paul, 14 points, 7 assists, 8 rebounds. But he was a monster on the defensive end, made key steals and stuff like that. That's good for the Rockets. James Harden scored 41. Was
Eric
14.
Gordon had 30.
Yeah, Gordon had 30, 7 of 14 from the 3-point line. James Harden 5 of 13. But still good percentages. Now James Harden took the shots he needed to take to help win this game. Now, if he's gonna play, he needs to play like this every fucking game instead of just being Steph Curry's tether. Be James Harden. Be Jay Smooth as the Rockets fans call you. You know what I'm saying? Make better decisions with the ball, James Harden. You ain't got to take a 3-pointer every time. Take a mid-range shot. In order for the Rockets to win, they're going to need this type of production every fucking game and play better. Play a little bit better on defense. Defensively, I'm not going to say, the typical D'Antoni defensive style, but they could play better on defense. I'll say that much on there. But shooting wise, they were 42% from the 3-point line, 18 of 42.
Mm-hmm.
They need to play like this every. They need to play like this every game. If they could play like this every game, they could fuck around.
Right.
Around and win this series. But predicted series, but it's too close for me. And this is the first time I've ever not predicted anything in terms of a postseason because that's how close it is on paper. It's too close to call. Just like the Philadelphia series. Philadelphia is looking better out of all the 4 teams left. What do you think Philadelphia is going to do in this game? What do you think they're going to do in this game against the Raptors? Do you think they're going to go up 3-1, or do you think the Raptors is going to wake up with Kawhi Leonard and the rest of those guys and they're going to be consistent this time? What is your take on this?
I think it's going to be more of the latter than the former. They're going to have to wake up because, like Nick Nurse called their ass out. He said, you can't have one guy doing everything. Right. And I agree, and I agree with Nick Nurse in that regard, man. He's going, and I'm not, and I'm not a big fan of Kyle Lowry, but he really represents the problem that's going on. I mean, like and Chris Broussard said, it's just like he just doesn't get it. Playoff time, you can't be lazy and complacent, and he's been that way. Now Jimmy J. Smooth and we gave him a pass last year. Yeah, he stepped his shit up last year. But you don't have DeMar DeRozan and whatever. I mean, hey, and it's like this, I'm like this. Hey, if you want to lead, lead. Hell. But you ain't gonna, you're gonna have to, Lowry's gonna have to step his game up, but if the Raptors pull the same little fuck shit they did the other night, Thursday night, yeah, it's over with. Because I picked the Raptors in 6. So, because under the strength, based on under the strength of Kawhi, because they got Kawhi Leonard, but they keep playing the way they playing now. That's not gonna happen.
I'm gonna say this. It's looking like the momentum is swinging toward Philadelphia way, but just in case it's not swinging toward this way, it still looks like to me a 6-7 game series still. Mm-hmm. But if they go up 3-1, they're gonna have problems because Embiid is a monster in that post, and Embiid is have to continue to play like that. The way he did in Game 3, he's gonna have to continue to play like that for the rest of the series and be their closer at this point. Because he's probably the best center that's still left in the playoffs, and if they can get to the conference finals against Milwaukee or Boston, whoever wins that series, they're going to have a problem with Embiid. because Embiid is on point, and the same production they got out of everybody for Philadelphia, they could use that every game. So everybody play up to their potential. It's gonna be on like a pot of neck bones, but still a little close to call. But we'll see what happens tonight. I mean, this afternoon, because it's got a 2:30 start time. Next subject, LeBron said that he was stunned that Magic Johnson walked out. Now, according to ESPN, he was like he was in disbelief. He had his first public comments, and I think he said this on his show, but I haven't kept up with his show. But it said on his show, LeBron said stretching before the game, he was told that Magic Johnson of his decision. He was like, "Get the fuck out of my face with that." And he said, "You bullshitting." And he said to the reaction of his longtime business partner, Randy Mims, who played high school ball with him as well, who he put in college as well as an agent. He came as part of the organization with the conversation. And Johnson was the only person, surprisingly, to meet with LeBron James before making his decision to join with the Lakers. In a few days that he made the abrupt decision, he and Rob Pelinka met with LeBron James, and he gave him the inkling of his decision to come, excuse me. So it was weird for him to do that out of the gate. And he was like, man, he would have liked for him to say, "I'm out of here. I'm not, it's not even like that. Hey, Bron, come kiss my ass. I'm out of here." He didn't even get that. And he's like, with Lonzo Ball, he was like on the episode, that shit is crazy. And I will say this. I think he out of everybody, he should have told that he was going to get on.
It should have been LeBron.
It should have been LeBron. I will say that out of everybody. I don't know how his relationship with Jimmy Buss is. Is it declining? So I get that. But LeBron and Lonzo, they definitely deserve an explanation of why he left, because he did persuade them to go to the Lakers, which, some would say the greatest basketball team of all time, with argument with the Boston Celtics. So do you agree that he should have at least said, as much as you hate LeBron or dislike the ways of LeBron, I should say?
Yeah, I dislike. I don't hate the man. I respect him, but I don't like his ways on a lot of shit. But
don't agree with a lot of shit.
Go ahead. I agree with LeBron, and really, to quote someone, what my late old man told me: if you find yourself, you got to explain your actions to a person, you ain't doing them and giving them an excuse. It's best you give reasons. So I think Magic owes it to them a reason as to why, reasons to why he just left abruptly like that. Yeah. Because also there's a piece that ESPN has written that Magic, and I think some members of the Laker organization has kind of told ESPN, don't put it out yet, about how he's running the organization. And they said there's been a lot of people that's been saying, that Magic, he, when it comes to business, said he's curt. He don't want to listen. He doesn't want to give you a chance to say it's either your way, it's either his way or not. But if you do it a different way from what he says, you still out. And it's basically really, and yeah, Magic is a Leo for one. And it's like what they say, go. Fuck what you do is what you say that goes. And I mean, but like I said, I mean, he does owe it to LeBron and Lonzo, and I know he had nothing to do with the Brandon Ingram thing. Mainly, he owes it to a lot of them guys that he helped recruit to the Lakers. Why he left? Yeah. He owes them a reason. He doesn't owe them an explanation. He owes them a reason.
Yeah, just the main reason. And he doesn't owe them an explanation. And let's grant it. Magic is my way or the highway guy because he's mainly a Leo. But let's just face it. If that's his way, he's obviously been hella successful in that way because he's been doing business ever since he got in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? He took a lot of keys from Kareem as well as other people on business advice because he learned early on business advice. He bought a radio station at an early age when he first got his NBA contract. So when you're used to having your own shit, you feel you're going to want to do things your way. So I feel where he's coming from. Sometimes the best person to trust is yourself in certain situations, and that's the key word: certain situations. Not all, because you're not going to be able to do it all. You're going to always need an accountant, some type of an executive to oversee your company, because you're not going to be everywhere. You're not going. He has a myriad of. He has a hell of a lot of businesses that's going on.
Starbucks. Well, I think he sold his share of Starbucks so he can get the Dolphins, so he can get the Dodgers.
Yeah, and he owns a lot of Jackson Hewitt shit. He got a lot of businesses going, and even without the alleged falling out between him and Jeannie Buss, he still got a lot on his plate. He's still got to run his own business. He's still the CEO of his own businesses. So even if it's go ahead.
And I really think that's the reason why he stepped down, so he can focus on his businesses and stuff. And I really think Magic is a billionaire. I'm not gonna say he's a millionaire. I believe he's a billionaire.
Oh yeah, I think his last check is like around 700, 800 million. So and again, with a lot of celebrities, especially our people celebrities, they subtract a lot of stuff they own. So he's probably got billions of dollars in the bank that we don't know about, or at least maybe $1 or $2 billion in assets that we don't know about that they're subtracting from his net worth. So also take that in consideration, and for good reason. It's probably right that they don't say he's a billionaire, to protect himself. And then his son runs a lot of his companies, run Magic Johnson Enterprise. I'm talking about the oldest son, for those who don't know, the one he had at Michigan State, for those who are not educated about Magic Johnson's personal life. People just think Magic Jr. is his only child, but that's not true. He's not the oldest son. He's not the oldest child. It's the one that he had at Michigan State. So that him and Cookie actually raised, and that's not her son. That's Magic's son. It was an outside person that he had a baby by at Michigan State. So that's just for educational purposes only. But if nobody know who his oldest son looked like, just find the old Buick commercial. Exactly. So he does owe it to those players that he drafted and the guys he got in free agency. The reason, and not an explanation. So again, shout out to Magic Johnson. Shout out to LeBron. I hope LeBron can get a title, because if you don't get a title at LA, his name is gonna be mud as far as I'm concerned. He needs to bring at least one title at LA. If not, his name gonna be mud for the rest of his life. So next subject. Vegas. Las Vegas, Nevada is projecting that the New York Knicks, aka the New York Tricks, because that's what they playing, like a bunch of tricks who didn't got suckered out of their ability to play. They are projecting them to winning a championship. Mainly because the possibility of Kevin Durant. Mainly because of the possibility of Kevin Durant and possibly Kyrie Irving. The possibility of them going to the New York Knicks. What is your take with this goddamn? I think it's absurd at this point, because the motherfucker.
It is. You just answered my question. Because somebody, you just answered my question. You about to ask me.
Go ahead with your take.
Bro.
You may have an explanation for it. Go ahead.
Well, it's a reason. I'm going to tell you why. Ain't nobody doing that shit but ESPN. That's one. And think about it. Speculating about Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and Kawhi Leonard probably going to New York. I believe somebody at ESPN is some NBA 2K fanboys out there, or they must have played the NBA 2K14 with LeBron on the cover, where you had the LeBron showcase mode with LeBron being on the Knicks or something. That is not going to fucking happen. because the quote Charles Barkley, what he said about the Phoenix Suns being a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
The New York Knicks is a wildfire.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a wildfire. It's not going. I ain't got nothing to say. Vegas, man, I ain't got nothing to say. That Kyrie and Kyrie, Kevin Durant, and Kawhi Leonard on the same team. Okay, that ain't nothing but an NBA 2K fanboy dream. And I think
Yeah.
it's not. And I think it is not going to happen.
Yeah, they're talking about they project uh the Knicks, the Bucks possibly, and the Celtics, 76ers, to possibly that's what they're projecting. I'm like, wait till the fucking NBA 2019 season over with before y'all start popping y'all whole ass. As a matter of fact, wait till free agency, the end of the free agent period, the early free agent period goes until y'all start popping y'all. Stop giving me this bullshit ass possibility bullshit. We don't know what the fuck Kevin Durant gonna do. He might fuck around and stay at Golden State.
Which I
So
think he is.
yeah, and if definitely if Boogie Cousin come back, because I think they're gonna get rid of Draymond Green from the looks of it. I'm saying from the looks of it, they could keep him, they could not, but they're probably gonna get Boogie Cousins to come in, and if they're able to keep him, if they want him, because I think he's gonna stay for the low. I don't think he's gonna ask for too much because he's injury prone. So if they're able to keep that nucleus going, and I think Golden State is still the team to beat until proven otherwise at this point. Until if they're able to keep Durant, Boogie, uh, uh, John B. looking ass stepson, Klay Thompson, and Curry, if they keep that them four guys, I think they're still the team to beat, pending what happens in this series. So it is what it is. And Vegas, y'all lost y'all goddamn mind. I'm just gonna tell y'all right now. You need to go. You need to seek immediate attention, as I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Next subject, we're gonna get into a more serious topic. We're gonna get to a
Man,
more
this is a
serious
deep
topic.
show.
Yeah, this is a deep show, and I expected to run through it, but hey, it is what it is. But a school district is a school district in, I think, in the Philadelphia, was suspended for striking a bully who called him basically a nigga. You know what I'm saying? And of course, this is a school district out in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area, which that city had, Pennsylvania itself is a racist ass state, but a school district is facing a civil rights lawsuit about him getting into a fight about a student who called him the N-word. Blaine Jones, who is the defense attorney for the kid, received a 3-day suspension for striking a boy who harassed a black kid. I wish people would stop saying people of color, that it is what it is. Jones' son joined his friends at a lunch table and they looked him up and said, nigger. And they tell Yahoo Lifestyle that, what did you say to me? And he repeated the word. He said, what you gonna do about it? And they also uttered the word monkey. And he said he was also teased by an Asian student. My son put him in a chokehold, and as the fight stopped, the teacher separated him as well. And he also told him, what did you call me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As the teacher was separating the kid, the Jones and his wife met with the school principal. He was saying he was considered, his son was called an N-word. Okay. I'm glad it was muted. He said, considering my son was called an N-word in his history of harassment, I expect my child to have due process. The school will provide diversity training, which ain't gonna be shit. Diversity training is just another way of trying to cover up racism. Let's just, that's another crock of shit. On Thursday, they learned both boys were suspended for 3 days. But My thing with this is I don't think the school district did enough in this particular situation. And I'm gonna tell y'all, parents, something, because this goes on to the topic of message to parents.
Mm-hmm.
Stop putting your kids in some of these white school districts. If
Thank
you
you.
have to homeschool some of your children, if you have to, because sometimes it ain't even worth trying to go to this so-called prestigious white school. Private schools, they're a little bit more stricter. So I mean, from what I've understand about private schools, they you certain shit that you get away with in the public school, you can't get away with in private school.
True.
But unless your kid going to the best basketball school or the best sports program, to where a lot of the coaches know that if they got a good black athlete, in most cases, because Kevin Garnett's situation was a little different. I think that was a little that was a little situation right there with Garnett. But as far as concerned, though, man, I think you should not be quick to put your kids in all white school districts, or either you put them in an all black school district. You probably just need to homeschool them in this situation. But I think they're doing right to file a lawsuit because based on what the school district is really not doing a goddamn thing. I don't think they're trying to do a goddamn thing. And the father said he wants to resolve at the school. So, what is your take on this? And take over.
Anybody has shit left on. Yeah, I was just saying, man, it's a sad situation in that regard. What? No, riding with somebody right now, Jimmy. My bad. Apologize for that. But I just think it's a sad situation. About with that, that young man about the black guy about the young kid getting bullied and shit like that. And like you said, and everybody, it's not just black people that need to realize this shit. It's all races. You can't get away with a lot of shit in a private school than you would in a public school. And really, in the way public schools are these days now, you really can't get away with no shit in that either. So I think they got a right to sue.
Mm-hmm.
They have a right to sue in regards to that shit. And shit. I mean, I hope they get their bread, but I mean, they shouldn't have to suspend the kid for defending himself.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't never heard. I mean, I have never heard of a child getting suspended for defending himself. Now I can see if you got suspended for assaulting a teacher or anything of that matter. But come on, defending yourself because he was called the N-word? No, man.
And this happened more than one time. That's the crazy thing about it. And at some point, this need to be dealt with. And I think the school district talking about diversity training. No, do something about it. You know what I'm saying? A better situation you would have did. They should have suspended the kid who called this kid this for the rest of the year to send a message. If you want to do something, suspend it for the whole year. You know what I'm saying? To send a message. Talking about diversity training. It ain't.
Yeah, fuck.
All you gonna do is
fuck diversity training.
Cause those kids. That's a slap on the wrist, basically. Yeah, not really diversity training. So it is what it is when it comes to this. But another topic I want to hit on as well is there's been situations that's been happening lately. And I got to call out some of our black parents as well on this as well, because this is pretty much an extension of the last topic.
Yeah,
black parents need to wake up and stop trying to be on this kumbaya bullshit with a lot of these kids. Because what is happening?
Say that again, because you was breaking up, bro.
Okay. These kids, these parents need to teach their kids about their history, man. Because what is happening, and the reason why I bring up this topic is because lately, especially among our black women, our black girls, our future black women, what is happening is you got white kids, you know, the latest of this is a lot of white kids are disrespecting these black women to go to the prom. You know, uh, talking about would you pick some cotton for me, and if you pick some cotton for me, I'll take your nigger ass to
Turn
the
my
prom.
Wi-Fi on so you can connect
So that
Yeah.
that
Turn my Wi-Fi hotspot on so you can connect
it's a lot of it's a lot of sleep ass parents out here. It's a lot of wannabe kumbaya ass parents out here. It's ridiculous right here, man. Because this ain't just happened once. This happened several different times in the last, I say at least 5 years. It's a
Yeah,
lot of
it's really been happening more than that. And I get what you're saying on your last on this last topic. I've been saying it for the longest, man, that these black parents need to teach their kids about their history, about the history about black folks, man. I mean, see, they teaching them the wrong shit, and I apologize for jumping in on you like that. They teaching them the wrong shit right now. You got to excuse noise in the background. Some ride with somebody too. They gotta, bro. I mean, you need to be teaching them about what they expect. They need to really be teaching them about what they expect in the future when they get ready to graduate high school. Like, get ready, get ready for the real world. Cause, hey, old man said something. Late old man said another little quote. When I graduated high school, he said, "Guess what? The fun begins." They need to be teaching them about life instead of teaching them about foolishness and shit, man. And teach them about their history. If like, and a guy, yeah, a guy said it best. And the guy said it best, man. DJ from 88.5, and I even shared his status. If black parents can take the time to put together send-off parties for the prom, then they should have been getting them together to study for their ACTs and getting ready for life after high school.
I agree.
You there?
No, I'm listening. I'm actually listening live and direct, bro. But yeah, I mean, they need to they need to actually, prepare these kids for, how to deal with racism, how to deal with motherfuckers like that who sit up here and disrespect their daughters, man. That's the last thing you need to allow to go on. You know what I'm saying? Because there's too many white kids, especially white boys out here that just really, disrespecting, our black women, man. And you setting them up to be.
Oh yeah, and they think they can
term. Yeah, you're just future wages, for lack of a better term. But go ahead, brother.
Yeah, some white, and I'm noticing what I've been kind of noticing as of late. I've been noticing most of the white boys have be respecting the shit out of black people, man. Even I've seen some. I saw a guy a while back in Alabama whoop the hell out of a racist white boy. No matter of fact, I think I told you about that story on Let's Draw on something. Yeah. White dude beat the shit out of this racist when he called his friend the nigga, the stronger N word.
Yeah.
He's a guy that called beat the shit out of him, man. He told him, man, don't you ever disrespect my friend no more.
Yeah, and we need more of that. That's few and far between though. We need more of that. But again, man, these parents need to wake up, man. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah.
And I'm just disgusted that these parents would even. I mean, that I'm disgusted that shit still goes on, and that shit is still being allowed in our homes and households and shit like that. In our women still being disrespected like that. I mean, it's crazy out here. But do you got anything else before we go on and get about this mug?
No, man. This is a fully action-packed show, man. Shoot, because right now I'm out and about traveling, buddy, man. Right now, gonna hit the streets for a minute. So, but yeah, this is great. This was a good show. But I probably have, well, and depending on how my work schedule is, probably might want to try to get some questions together on this one, man. Next Thursday, next Tuesday would have been my pop's 67th birthday. So probably on your show, we probably gonna talk about the life and times of Craig Smith Sr., man. So get ready to get some questions together for that one. That's gonna be on the Sunday show.
Okay.
So
yeah,
because there's gonna be some, it is so some things I detailed his last days, and then like I said, then like how with Facebook is, I ain't gonna take a chance about with doing it on Facebook Live, but get ready to ask some questions in regards to that one, because I found out, doing some little digging, I found out some little stuff my pops did before we met moms. It wasn't nothing criminal, but it was pretty interesting. Then get the detailing with his, we probably on this show, y'all, we'll get the detailing his final days and when I knew it was coming. In regards to his passing. So it's gonna be action packed, and Jimmy's gonna have to really get his questions together on some things. So other than that, y'all, hey, I ain't got nothing. And
yeah, most definitely.
Jimmy, you got anything?
Nothing else, brother. This your boy live and direct in full effect out the 832 with my homeboy out the 662, man. Y'all already know how we do, man. And y'all have a good afternoon. Y'all enjoy them playoff basketball, man. And just enjoy y'all. All right.
Oh yeah. And the pleasure has been all yours.